Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at that. It is March. March. And plum trees, they are actually blooming right now. So if you see that, you can go around and look for wild plums. And they will look like that. You will be able to distinguish a plum tree. But once a plum tree starts blooming, you will not be able to really tell a plum tree. So, but look at that. I'm sitting outside in front of my plum tree. I just wanted to come on here for my first live video to tell you who I am, just to introduce myself really quickly. I am Ameasha. I am a herbalist and aspiring botanist, learning botany. I've been an herbalism student for a little while, so I've been practicing herbalism. I'm a past pastry chef. I'm a creative artist. I've owned some restaurants, and I love flowers. I'm just a girly kind of gal that loves flowers, a little bit of slow living, planting different things, learning in my garden, and thought that I create a channel so you guys can learn with me if you want to learn about flowers and botany, herbalism, all of that. So I'm out here with my plum tree. I had 2 plum trees that I planted probably about 5 years ago. I can't even remember the varieties at the time that I planted them. I had 2. So they needed to have a mate, have a pollinator together. One of my trees started producing the very first year. Yes. So with plums, you usually have to have a 5-year plan that you think about. But one of the trees started producing the very first year, and the second tree that's behind me never did produce. Never did. And so after a couple years, I came outside one day, and actually it looked like my plum tree, the very first one that was producing, it was just kind of wilted over. It looked like it had been struck by lightning. Like just in the Bible when the cursed tree, because it wasn't producing, but mine was actually producing. But I don't know what happened to it. So what I did is I dug up the tree. I chopped it down and I just kind of dug it up. And so the plum tree that wasn't producing actually started producing. So these are the beautiful, beautiful flowers, the white blooms. So plum trees are a butterfly's paradise. Yes, they are. It's a butterfly's paradise. But anyways, this tree has started producing without the other tree. So basically, I just want to give you a little fun facts for my first live video, give you a few fun facts about some plums, and encourage you to start looking for the wild plums out here, because it's March and it's blooming and it has those beautiful leaves that you can be able to tell. All right. So some very fun facts about plums, guys, is that, as you guys know probably already, that Americans, since I live in America, we actually call plums prunes. And what are prunes good for? You guessed it. For using the bathroom, digestion, constipation, all of that. So get yourselves plums, all right? A plum tree. Also, hey there. Is that Jason? Jalissa. Hi, Jalissa. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming through here. It's my first live video, and I appreciate that. Also, guys, not all plum trees need a mate for pollination. So I'll just give you some tips at the end of the video about what you need to look for when you get yourselves some plums, a plum tree. Hey, Stetson. Yes, not all of them need a mate. All right. So the very next thing is our plums, guys. Brandy, the liquor, the spirit that we drink, some of us drink, are actually made from plums, right? No wonder I actually like a little taste of brandy. I haven't tried all of the liquors, but I said I was just going to taste just for the heck of it to see which one I like. When I watch certain movies, foreign movies, a lot of times people are saying they like scotch, they like brandy, they like different things like that, and I kept saying, what does that taste like? And so I've tasted wine. Of course, most people have tasted wine, and some of the, basic liquors, but I had never tasted brandy. And so when I taste brandy, I actually like the taste of it a little bit. And so now that I know that it is made with plums, I see why that I actually like the taste of brandy. All right. So the state of California, I told you guys I'm in the USA. The state of California, a nice fun fact about plums is that California is the place that actually produces the most plums, right? We knew grapes, but we didn't think about probably plums. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. It's my first live. I came on here to introduce myself. I'm sitting in front of my plum tree behind me. And I'm just encouraging everybody to go out and look for wild plum trees because it actually blooms like this. I might can get a closer look in a little bit. All right. So the meaning, some significance about plums, right? In Chinese mythology, you might be surprised to know that plums is signified with great age and great wisdom. I think plums might be one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites. I know in the Bible it represents prosperity, abundance, and God's blessing. So we never think of our fruit being linked to meanings, but our flowers, our fruits, our herbs, all of it has significance. And as I told you in the beginning, for those that weren't here, I am a herbalist. So we will talk about herbs and we will talk about the importance and the significance here on this channel as well. Different things that we can do with herbs outside of the ordinary that we usually think to do with herbs. All right, so if you're interested in that, subscribe. All right, subscribe. All right, so I promised you 3 things about the plum tree, right? The very first thing, 3 little tips to have successful planting of your plum trees this year, guys, is to check your compatibility. All right, make sure that you check and see if it needs to actually have a mate. There's the bees, there's the butterflies. I told you, plum trees, butterflies, paradise. Make sure that you check the compatibility, guys. Make sure that you find out if it is self-fertile, because if it is self-fertile, it's going to be able to produce larger fruits if you want larger fruits, all right? Now, plum trees, they can produce, when it's right, it could be small as a cherry or it could be big as a baseball. All right, your plum trees can be as little as a cherry or big as a baseball. So make sure you check to see if it's self-fertile. That means you'll know what kind of varieties that you have, if it will produce large fruits or not. Make sure that you know the compatibility and make sure that you know the mixed pairings. All right, so the kind is very, very important. I thank you guys for stopping by. Your grandma has an apple tree. That's what I want next, is a apple tree. So look at that beauty once again. I'll see you guys coming up here really soon. We'll be talking about something else. You know, it is spring. I'll be getting out in the garden. I want you to be well. I want you to be safe and know that somebody out here loves you. All right? I love you. Be kind to other people. Spread it on. Bye-bye.